Good evening, I'm Shane Jones with the November 3rd edition of the CBC Evening News. In our top story, the heavy rainfall Barbados has been experiencing is having an impact on the vegetable supply line. Not only were farmers affected, but the Barbados Agriculture Society is telling Barbadians there could be a shortage of cucumbers this holiday season. Chief Executive Officer James Paul provided CBC News with an update.
We're doing some surveys. We started them this week, and we intend to continue them over the weekend in terms of the impact. I know, though, I can say definitely that there has been some impact on some crops, vegetables, especially cucumbers. I mean, we are really, even those cucumbers who were near to maturity, has been affected as a result of the rains. So cucumbers are going to be very short at this point in time, which is unfortunate. But we are hoping, though, that some of them which might not be so badly affected by the rain will come to in time for consumers for Christmas.
Mr. Paul says farmers planting melons also suffered some losses as fields were left waterlogged. The BAS also doesn't expect any major impact on other vegetables. The plight of a St. Lucie farmer has also captured the attention of the BAS.
I understood, of course, that there was a problem in terms of pawpaws. I'm hoping, of course, again, the farmer who was impacted on. I'm hoping that we can find a way of helping and assisting him in marketing those pawpaws.
Worthing Beach has been closed until further notice. The National Conservation Commission, in a release, says it made the decision because of poor water quality. The NCC apologizes for any inconvenience this closure may cause. Over the past few weeks, there has been major concern about the effect of a leak at the South Coast sewage treatment plant, which has resulted in an awful odor along the South Coast, a critical part of the island's tourism product. Double Jubilee celebrations rang out at the Hilton Hotel last evening. Not only was the focus on Barbados' 50th anniversary, but it was also on the hotel's 50th anniversary. Last evening's event, dubbed 50-50, highlighted and celebrated the close relationship between Barbados and the Hilton Hotel. The original Hilton Hotel opened its doors 3 days before Barbados gained independence back in 1966. And keeping true to this relationship, the show featured an all-Barbadian cast, which included the Mighty Gabby, Peter Ram, Red Plastic Bag, Lil Rick, and Richard Stout.
50 years ago, I believe it was Diana Ross. But 50 years later, I think Barbados has its own wealth of entertainment, its own artists. And what is more, some of these artists would have performed to at the old Hilton. So everybody has a link to the 50th for our hotel and for independence. So it only made sense to use local artists.
The hotel's Assistant Director of Sales, Tracy Jones, said she's pleased with the turnout.
I'm happy to see so many persons came out. I think Tuesday it wasn't necessarily a setback. Maybe this was the day that I should have been, but certainly this has been a great crowd here tonight. Past and present staff members were also out in their numbers. There's staff from the old Hilton and the new Hilton, much like the people of Barbados. They feel like Hilton belongs to them, and so for tonight we have a good cross-section of team members, not only working but who are also attending the event. And I understand there are also some previous team members who came out for the event and the celebration.
The event also included a spectacular firework display. The Radisson Aquatica Resort delivered an early Christmas gift to the Barbados Homeless and Vagrant Society. The resort reaffirmed its partnership with the society in a very tangible way, presenting President Kimar Safri with $10,000 yesterday. Radisson General Manager Jerry Lewis said the resort was proud to stand by the society.
It really doesn't matter how someone has found themselves in abject poverty or how someone has found themselves homeless. It really doesn't matter. The circumstances surrounding that does not matter. What really matters is that they need help and they need assistance, and they need assistance from corporate Barbados. So we stepped up and graciously partnered with Mr. Zafri to have this society as a strategic partner with the Radisson Aquatica Resort Barbados.
President of the society, Kimar Safri, said the donation was timely.
We would have seen over the last couple of weeks the hurricane and how it would have affected our Barbados, but more so what we didn't really see how it affected the homeless. With water levels rising high, these guys have to sleep on the streets, and we know that there's not a lot of high points in Barbados that you can rent to. And we definitely need partnership in that regards, and we're glad that, you know, Radisson Hotel could actually come on board with us.
Coming up after the break, we'll tell you about a daring shooting that has left a St. Michael teenager in critical condition.
This is Seth at Selberville, musician and comedian.
Hi, I'm Nadia Phillips, comedian and entertainer. The Barbados Vagrants and Homeless Society is doing a great thing, and we need your help as well, Barbados.
Come together as one and give to the Barbados Vagrants and Homeless Society by simply donating anything you got. Trust me, families, help the homeless.
In an era where society was divided by social strata, economic barriers, and conflict for equal justice, one woman's brilliant designs draws them together in an atmosphere of tranquility and will inspire a nation to boast and exhibit its talents in a place that has become a rendezvous for friends and lovers. Beacon of Bridgetown, Queen's Park, a two-part series. Learn from experts about its history.
The house is substantially unchanged except for the verandas. Because Lady Gilbert Carter was a woman, she could not sit on that subcommittee.
And listen to first-hand accounts by those whose lives mingled and intertwined there.
This building was the home of the command of the British forces.
It has a soul. It has a spirit. Daphne's spirit is very much in that data space.
Beacon of Bridgetown, Queen's Park.
A 19-year-old St. Michael resident is now in critical condition at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital after being shot multiple times in his chest this morning. Police say Shamar Victor Corbin of Bush Hall, St. Michael, boarded a minibus registration number B43 in the area of Tudor Street, the city, around 10 this morning. Two men subsequently boarded the same minibus and shot Corbin a number of times in his chest. He was then transported to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital by ambulance. Investigations into this matter are ongoing. Anyone who can provide any information to assist in these investigations are asked to contact the police at emergency telephone number 211, Crime Stoppers at 1-800-TIPS, that's 1-800-8477, CID Central at 430-7189, or the nearest police station. A local economist is advising Barbados to proceed with caution should it consider entering into a program with the International Monetary Fund. Dr. Justin Robinson is telling the country there are pros and cons to it. He suggests Barbados should weigh whether the conditionalities are more than the benefits. Dr. Robinson's comments came as he delivered the weekly lunchtime lecture of the Democratic Labour Party. His topic, Barbados' 50 Achievements and Challenges.
I would argue that if an IMF program requires a devaluation, then we shouldn't do it. So it depends on what they are asking for. What the IMF program can give you, as I said, is some credibility. People, okay, the fact that the minute you join the IMF program, some people now who don't want to lend you or touch you will come on board. You will get access to some money from the IMF. And then you will get access to some expertise. So those benefits are there. But what the country got to decide what they're asking for as the conditionalities. Are they worth more than those benefits? And I really can't answer that in a general way. You will go see what is on the table and what you can negotiate.
Dr. Robinson says there are a range of other options Barbados can consider to address its fiscal problem.
I think there is a room for means testing. I think there's certainly room for debt restructuring, debt refinancing, because the debt burden is large, and getting some fiscal space there, I think, needs to be explored. And the reason you hear a hint of caution in my voice is because all of these things, the devil is in the detail. It's very easy to speak generally, but the devil is in the detail. What will work, what is really viable, what is practical. So for example, a debt restructuring, unless you're going to say, well, I am not going to pay the debt and I'm going to default, that's going to rely on the lenders agreeing to do it. They have to agree to the new terms.
Hashtag Life in Leggings is a growing social media movement in Barbados, which has seen hundreds of Barbadian women share personal stories of sexual harassment and abuse. The movement took a further step last night when it hosted a panel discussion at the UWI Moot Court. Panelists and guests, both male and female, were able to share their stories and thoughts on the movement. Hashtag creator Ronald King explained her reason for the movement.
I said, can we create a hashtag that encourages women to speak about their sexual harassment experiences and abuse? And in doing so, it would also show those who doubt the severity of it that does happen, as well as how wide scale it is, because it is a global problem. But Barbados is my country. We are within the Caribbean, so I believe it's important to start home first.
Independent Christchurch West MP Dr. Maria Agard praised the hashtag.
This is our safe space. And if this is where we're all welcome, and this is where we all will speak, then I have something to say, as do you. And let us open our ears to hear what we have to say and to make the necessary interventions so that this does not end here, but that this is only the beginning.
Sports News is next. Stay with us.